So first, when trying to describe a planet in a sign, we know that the planet is the what and the sign is the how. In this case, Mars is a planet of our action. It's action in one's chart. It shows our basic desires. In other words, what gets us up in the morning. On one hand, it can describe the way we express our aggressions and anger based on our animal instincts. But on the other hand, it shows the expression of our sexual drives. In this Mars video series, I will only be talking about the sexual side of Mars. The feelings and techniques most comfortable to us based upon each placement. So learning about one's Mars placement can not only literally explain how we approach encounters, show what turns us on or off, but it can also give us a deeper look into our motivations in the context of relationships. I please recommend anyone coming across this video wanting to learn more about their own or their partner's Mars sign, or if just learning astrology, to first check out the introduction video I made to this series, which I'll link below. A video I made to understand the meaning behind Mars and how it can be correlated with our sex drives. So understanding both the planet signification and the sign archetype at the core to its fullest extent can have us better understand them working cohesively. That's the art of interpretation. So in this case, we have fiery Mars, which is our drive and desire. And then we have Leo, which is a fire sign. So what do we have? It's like adding fire to fire. Some keywords here could be dramatic, passionate, ambitious, and tremendous vitality. Leo is also a fixed sign. The fixed modality is stubborn to change, but it denotes sustainment. Leo energy symbolizes the creative life force. It is ruled by the sun, which wants to be seen, and that is all about the theatrics of life, the ego. So with Mars and Leo, sex should be full of life with all the romance and entertainment package included. It is the time the lion can play. So Mars and Leo would make someone who sexually can be keen on making it a show. Mars and Leo in general is darn creative, so sexualized, they will bring this into the bedroom too. It is a big deal to them. The whole experience should be a high-end experience. With Mars and Leo, we have someone who can overdo things physically. If we want to talk about a sign that enjoys doing the most. However, Mars and Leo hungers for more passionate lovemaking. They understand the self-discovery through autoerotic practices. The deep intensity of psychological and physical sensation serves to renew and rejuvenate and release their soul. Fire signs rule over the spiritual body. And sex in Mars and Leo is a union that brings a physical and emotional union. Although they're not quick to fall in emotional attachments like the water signs, they will put their current partner on a pedestal. Feelings are something that build up for them over time, however, in a more healthy way. So they can have active appetite and dating, but they will have the internal agenda to always find the best sexual partner, to eventually be the one to fit into their marvelous life story. But because they're an all or nothing kind of sign, they have no problem holding off and waiting for the rightful person to put their all into sexually. So Leos have high standards when it comes to their attractions and who they're willing to share their affections with, who is worthy. Mars and Leo is courageous, so they have no problem luring in potential partners when they're on the prowl, enjoying flirting and kicking back and seeing how someone can seduce them or give them the attention they feel entitled to. Mars and Leo revels in romance. Leo is associated with the 5th house of sports, gambling, and leisure fun, and dating. Not long-term dating, however. That's more 7th house, the aspect of relationships, which we eventually learn through Libra's give and take. While Leo is a little bit more about me, me, me. instantaneous pleasure. They're the ones that want to be swept off their feet. Leos want to be considered the most special. They will be, in that case, turned on by you reminding them of that. If you don't give them that attention, this is where badly aspected a masculine sign Mars, like Leo, can be compulsive and will look to another partner to recreate it like it's a fix. They may stay bachelors for a very long time waiting for someone they feel is good enough for them. They'll be attracted to strong and colorful, full of life personalities. So like if you are a popular and confident person, they'll be drawn towards you. On the other hand, if you're also exotic and symmetrically attractive, they love to show off the person they're with and with the person in their life, so that person needs to be deserving of attention. So part of the process to their arousal is admiring each other at, like, say, a social setting, or needing to go out on the town with a partner somewhere to show each other off prior to getting home and getting it on, right? So with their powerful libidos, signs of affection in public proudly present them. There could be a bit of a shallow aspect to all this in that sense, sort of like the couples you see on social media portraying a perfect relationship that we all know isn't real. Encouragement is so important, but this also means they can just as easily get a hurt ego and need a lot of reassurance. This placement can go one or two ways a lot of times. Love and sex is the light of their world and motivation for all that they do at the end of the day. And they won't be compatible with more unpassionate, chill types. Or it could be that this is an aspect of your life that is seen as for recreational purposes. But whatever the case, turn-ons include being reassured that they're pleasing you. They can be the type to send a lot of photos, fishing for compliments from you, just like they work hard on themselves to be the best version of them. They will also work very hard on their skills in bed to make sure every partner leaves idolizing their prowess. Leo is a leader quality, and so they're going to want to also be the producer of the show. They'll act very confident in bed, maybe a little showy. You know, there's this stereotype of Leos being bossy, but really what it is that unlike a Libra or a Pisces who have a hard time knowing what they want, or Cancers who just want to appeal to their partners and whatever their partners want, Leos know what they want, and there's this confidence that they exude that is undeniably magnetic to some and a bit hard to put up with for others. It's where compatibility comes into play. This dominance, if not in their regular personality, then it comes out in the bedroom. So they'll prefer positions in which they have the most power over another. They'd probably enjoy some play fighting that ended up with a hot makeout session. So being a top, if you're gay, or just literally being a top in control as a man, or a straight female being on top. Doggy style position they'll love too, as it gives them a range of motion movements with the back and the hips. Or if they're on the bottom, they will need a more aggressive partner, more dominating. They can be into light bondage and slave fantasies, but unlike the air signs who are too in their head, doesn't care less about the fantasy role play, just wants the natural rhythm of going full force. Lust is for them both a way to fill their batteries while also to boost their ego. So there's an unabashed exhibitionist performance, and if there's a mirrors around as well, they love that, or the idea of being filmed, because they enjoy admiration. They'd probably like it if you say they're the best. Showering them with praise and reinforcement. Leo gives Mars tremendous energy. They want excitement, they want sensual pleasure, they want it all included. So they won't be the ones into quickies. Sex is essentially seen as a ritual and they want to be worshipped. Mars and Leo just has to become conscious of their sometimes self-centered ways. Mars and Leo can be the most commanding of all the signs, but they're also most capable of giving without expecting to receive the same back. They will be generous. Leo rules the heart and the back, so back rubs or scratches on the back within the session can be extremely hot for them. Running the fingers down their spine. So the best that they'll ever have will be one that involves love and affection and loyal devotion. Sex is a sacred experience. As such, they can be comfortably spending a whole day dedicated to it, alternating between this and sleep. Obviously, in order for something to be enjoyed like that, it has to be with someone who's comfortable enough to be hanging around. It's also an act that they see of devotion to each other's bodies. With this placement, I literally envision two lions just rolling around, taking pauses, caressing each other, no rush, no need to say anything, just soaking in each other's presence, forgetting all the technicalities and being human in the most natural state of being. This is what makes Mars and Leo one of the best in bed.